and who ensure the retake is going to be effective, find really strong flanks and prod for space after they're given the freedom to do that because of the forward positioning that Menace picks up.
I like that. We just still have a bit of a bug on one of our observers. You may notice that there's a jet without a name tag. That's always going to be Menace. Oh my lord, and it is always going to be Menace making space, exactly like you just talked about. Rushing forward, finding a shorty pick. There's your standard pizza slice, ice wall sight take. Going back to the beta.
This will be fun to watch because while we did see P1 dominate on bind already, it was on their defensive half. Where they're starting on the attack here, we'll have to see if they can par the performance that they put up on the other half.
They must have heard Menace rushing close to this wall. Push around the corner, Menace gets away with it, dashing further, deeper into the site, and that will be the round. Phoenix1 off to a stellar start. Unless Jerk can have anything to say about it. They were the star of the last round, the last game, but a frenzy only has so many bullets, Martin.
Yeah, try, but won't succeed there. P1 picking up the pistol on the weak side of this map. Really eager to see how Dreamland approaches bind as a map overall. Something that we highlighted before that will obviously come into major play here is teleporter usage overall. I think that on the attacking side, TPs are sort of designed for you to employ. You can play onto A site, you can use the teleporter to shift and bait out rotations, you can start B long control and shift towards A. It is meant to be an attacker's playground, and yet when we saw Phoenix1 playing against Spot Up, they were using the teleporters more as defenders than their opponents. I think Dreamland and P1 using the teleporters in a more appropriate and effective way is going to be one of the main assurances that this map is at least close.
Menace was tagged by the tracking dart there, and still presses forward, still finds a kill. KP gets absolutely demolished. And I like that updraft angle. Rahante is already on the flank, Giacomo coming in behind. Him and Jerk will find an opening pick onto King. And that could bring them back into the round, but unfortunately Phoenix1 still have Menace, and he is still, guess what, an absolute menace. 3 kills on the round. Could go for the ace here if we want to get fancy. No. Jerk denies it. Kill onto Menace. Will be traded out by precision. That was all Jerk really wanted to do. Just deny the ace. Be a jerk. Phoenix1 will find themselves a second round, starting things off with the roll.
All right, from Dreamland right now, I need to see you win your first rifle. That is, in my eyes, that is a functional necessity here if you want me to believe you have any shot at winning this map.
All right. All in on the first rifle. Buy-ups are here. Phoenix1 actually taking a little bit of a risk, sitting down on the rifles, not buying up. Trying to get the free bonus round. Here comes Menace, knives out, push forward, rushing through hookah. And there is a bit of a stack on the wrong side here for Dreamland. And as a result, it is going to be a free site take. I believe that is Giacomo lurking around the side on the raise in the back holes, making sure there isn't too much of a push, but they'll have to wait for everyone else. Giacomo will be caught out, and that is going to be it. KP and Mario will find trades back, but it's 4-on-3 for the defenders. Spike dropped in a very awkward position. Zekken has to take down KP. Mario working their way in from holes. They'll be poking round the corner, trying to just get some spam, anything to deny this plant. Jerk will be rumbling in, zoning those first corners so they can begin the retake properly. All 3 members of the retaking Dreamland shoving through the same hole's angle and being flanked by Jangler. He's going to come in behind all 3 of them. None of them are checking. Second finds Rahante. Jangler's in for the backstab. And that is the end of the round. Jerk just needs to fade away. Maybe get an exit, but nothing more is happening here.
Dreamland, I warned you. You had to win this one if you wanted me to believe. They still don't manage to pull it out, and frankly, it was from an incredibly advantaged position. You have a 3v3, Spike is in a precarious at best spot, and yet you still give away the round? It just doesn't make sense.
He didn't even have his gun out, Anders. He just walked around the corner. Was like, gosh, free kill. Sure.
Surprise, it's me.
Jangler get the free win. And yeah, dropping that first gun round is brutal. I want to point out that it's particularly brutal because, again, PHOENIX1 didn't buy into that round. They sat on the half buy. So they have so much money in the bank.
They'll probably rifle out here if they win it. We'll see Menace hopping onto the op that he found so much success in the last time we saw this map. And Dreamland really has to find a way to stop that ball from getting rolling, because if last time was any indicator, once it starts, there's no stopping it.
There we go. Menace into the back of the site. Again, a deep dive and a free kill. Goodbye, jerk.
No charges left.
And even looking for more. Looks away and oh, perfect timing. KP is able to push through the smoke right as Menace looks away, get a kill. Nothing more will come of that. Jangler is there for the counter trade. And the plant will go down. Safe to be covered from multiple angles. Very wide open plant. I don't think there's going to be much in the way of a retake. Giacomo tries to get something going, but it's a pretty clean one for PHOENIX1. Making it a 4-0 rush to start things off. Martin, it's kind of what we thought was going to happen.
I'm getting flashbacks already. I know that I said this was more than likely not what we were going to see coming out, but that doesn't make it any less painful to watch. And we're getting to a situation now where, yeah, Dreamland's on the precipice of absolute doom at this point. If you look at the ult economy on the side of P1, they're 1 point off of 2 ultimates and they have the Sage Res up. So even in instances where Dreamland starts to find traction now, it's going to be a compoundingly uphill battle. Like, it's already going to be incredibly hard, but it's only going to get worse unless they continue, or unless they start to find success in some way. And right now, if we look at the way that they're playing the game, it's awkward on-site defenses that get picked apart by Menace's dive, or it's sort of this pseudo-soft containment where they aren't popping and playing counter-aggression, nor are they playing full off-site retake.
Here's the side tank, King. Able to find so many kills, that is ridiculous. Just walking through the cyber cage. Saying, what's up? 3 kills. Mario for the Hunter's Fury. We'll be able to even things up, bringing us back to a 2-on-2. No ults available for the defenders, so we're not going to be able to play off-site, just Hunter's Fury through the wall or anything. Jangler did burn their ult to peer into the site. But the retake begins, it will actually be Zekken getting pinged. Giacomo finds Jangler. They know exactly where Zekken is. This could be Dreamland's first round. Spam will force Zekken ever further back inside showers. And indeed, there's no way back into it.
Zekken is a miracle worker, but in that situation where they're willing to sink a late round Aldrone into you as a solo post plant, good luck, have fun. You're never going to win that one.
Yeah. Dreamland should absolutely be willing to spend a little extra cash because that was them getting on the board, Anders. That was round number 1, win number 1, Dreamland 1-4.
And this is still very much so in the realm of them pulling it back. Obviously, we've lauded PHOENIX1 here a ton and how successful they've been on this map, but Dreamland is not down and out by any stretch of the imagination. They are on a bit of a broken bye here, though. And Menace opening up with that judge kill is...
Does get traded out. Good hold from KP. Rahante's Trapwire's doing a lot of work here. Wall and res. Behind the wall, Jangler will come back up. 4v4 now. This is pretty good. I think this is the kind of round you want that res to be burned in. PHOENIX1 absolutely opting into burning the res on a close round. Trying to break the opponent's economy. On the other hand, Dreamland probably okay with it as well, because it's not given a player advantage. This is still very winnable for them in a 4v4.
I love the pause that we're seeing out of PHOENIX1 here. They tried to make that original aggression. We saw both Menace and Jangler go down. They wall off, they use the res, but instead of rotating, they're now going full pause, cutting noise, fully silent, and trying to force the enemy team into a 2-2 so that they can take a full-man push.
They don't get that, but they still take the site. Precision opening up the fragging, slapping down the spike, and it's a 2v4 retake. Jangler up real close as well. We'll catch Mario jumping. This Goomba's got guns. As a result, Jerk's probably in an unwinnable scenario. We'll try and get away with the rifle. Does seem like that's going to happen.
Just trying to get some semblance of economy going for his team, I think.
Oh no. Second? Gun out? No? Okay.
All right. Okay. Not sure about that one.
Oh, 2 for Jerk. We keep handing Jerk these 1v1 angels. He's very liable to win them. And that is something I think we should draw from that map 1 icebox, which was rather disastrous for Dreamland, but we did see that Jerk is absolutely a fragging monster.
Definitely. He is very much so the point of success that Dreamland should be leaning on if they want to create space, find those opening frags.
We'll have to see if Dreamland can make that happen. I'm hesitant to call anything too tactical about this round because it is like shotguns and stingers. But I want to see them get a little more frisky, get a little more aggressive, try and disrupt these plays. And they do. The double stack behind the box trades out Menace 1 for 1. Joggermo with the Bucky. Doing exactly what we asked him to do. Smoke will go down. B-site the target again for PHOENIX1.
Camera taken out.
Oh.
Finally, some TP usage on attack. I called this
Anders
earlier on in
is
the
so
day.
happy right now.
We haven't seen literally any of it until just now.
King left behind will get a free frag on the lurk. TP usage isn't rewarded though. Jerk already ready on the site. Shuts down Zekken. And the spike is unable to get out of showers. All 3 PHOENIX1 players clustered here around the A site. Same can be said for Dreamland. Neither team left anyone over towards B. Now that will change as PHOENIX1 rotate all the way around the long way. Dreamland start to worry maybe they're being left out.
If they try to go for the double TP here, they're trolling. I was thinking for a second there as they were coming through cave there, I thought they might wrap through the spice market and go back towards A, but instead they're just going to commit fully to the cross map run.
10 seconds
A
left.
fairly predictable play
9
in their
seconds.
setting, and
King finds one. The ulti didn't find the answer. KP on the flank though with the judge will find one. Jerk goes down. KP yet again onto Jangler with the judge. 16 HP on King. Slightly more on the opposite side. Jangler also low, but the judge has issued a ruling. Bang the gavel. KP finds 3 and closes out the round. The second over on Dreamland's account.
great showing from Dreamland there. They're highlighting the fact that if you manage to fully pause PHOENIX1's attack, the way that they handle their mid-round adaptation is a little finicky. We've seen rounds where it was incredibly impressive, where they did that full pause recommit onto A, but we see there a really awkward walk across the map. They push onto a site even though they know that the enemy team is sitting on a showstopper. They plant at the default position, which is extremely susceptible to a hookah TP'd showstopper. All around that, round was approached in a pretty questionable way from the side of P1.
Yeah, I was a little surprised the showstopper didn't find the kill, because it was spent there. Emperors will come out. Giacomo doesn't have anything to do with it, though. What a tragedy! Menace finds the openings. P1 work their way out onto the side. Giacomo indeed gets nothing done with the ulti, and it's a clean twofer picked up by King. 6-2. PHOENIX1 bounce right back.
P1 giveth and P1 taketh away. A little bit of hope comes in and they're like, nah, No, none of this.
What if we just launched the cleanest A take of the game?
Here.
I'm surprised still that even in sort of the throes of this downward spiral, we don't see Dreamland taking many risks. I feel like the way that they've been playing thus far is sort of a wait to be executed on, and they need to set some sort of tempo. As a general rule of thumb, and this is personal opinion, if you are playing this game and you aren't at least attempting to set pace, all you're doing is losing. You need to find some way to impose your will on the tempo of the game. And Dreamland is failing to do that egregiously at the moment.
Yeah. One of the things I was thinking about during the last round is I'd like to see Dreamland actually fall off of some of these side tanks, play retake. Because PHOENIX1 are expending so much utility on the side tanks that you can kind of punish that by just drifting away once the utility's invested. Go for the 5-man retake.
Yeah, absolutely, and they have great utility for retakes as well. They have the Raze instead of the Jet. They have the Reyna as a pseudo-initiator with her others oriented flash.
I have bad news, Anders. Okay, so the plan was exactly what we talked about, but the retake walks right into King, who finds 3 consecutive kills, just playing that anchor. Zekken also shoves forward into holes, grabs Mario, and it is just Jerk who did quite a sick little kill with the Sheriff, but probably we'll just be looking for exits here. Oh, here's him. Man's got ears and a trigger finger. Jangler drops. Jerk will be looking for this TP, just a chance to stay alive.
I'll have to pay closer attention to it in the coming round, but the fact that we have Jerk as what feels like a consistently last alive at this point, I want to keep a very close tab on the way that he is positioning and the way that he is pushing. Because as a Raze, you should basically never be the last person alive on your team. Positionally, I don't think there's a universe where it makes sense where, yes, my 4 teammates have died, and I'm just chilling. Because you should be one of the frontline people, unless you're sitting in an op, which he hasn't been. So why are we in a scenario where Jerk is multiple times now trying to 1vx crush?
I think one of the most frustrating things is that Jerk is always in that 1vx, and I'm gonna blame that on the teammates, right? Jerk isn't doing anything particularly, like, basic. It's just his teammates are playing a little too aggro. Menace will shove in, start this fight with an excellent kill on the KP. Nowhere to go, though, so makes the good call of jumping through the TP, playing the time. There is a Cypher mate still over on that B side. And Soberhante will grab one of their first kills of the game and also get to burn the Cypher ulti.
No more charges left.
Spotting all of P1. Guess what? Still over here at A. That doesn't help him out, though. Jerk goes down real fast. 2 quick kills to King, who is popping off this map. Just walks out under the side, Counter-Strike style, and hits some entries.
King has been very much so a strong point for P1 on this map, and Sentinels like that generally have one of 2 styles. They're either going to play full lurk or they're going to play very aggressive lurk. You have a juxtaposition between players like Meadow in EU and the Turkish player Para, who's like straight up in the enemy's spawn after 30 seconds every single map. And it seems like King is more towards the latter, where he's playing so aggressively in so many of these rounds and it's working for him.
Yeah, certainly is. 8-2, PHOENIX1 in the lead. I do want to call out exactly what we were talking about. If you are in a moment where you get that Cypher ulti, you get the neural theft, you see where PHOENIX1 are, and you're like, okay, there are 3 players, we know they've just been neural thefted, so they're going to push. We only have 2 players to receive. I think it is very sensible for the Dreamland players to not stick those holds, but to back off, wait for the reset, move your player advantage onto the A side, and we didn't see that. And I'm going to call that out because they went for the aim tools and lost. This round,
Definitely.
We'll go PHOENIX1 all the way. This KP lands some shots, but that's the only thing on a kind of broken economy there for Dreamland. They're not going to be able to make it happen, and so failing anything. Toss it over to you, Anders.
Yeah, I think you make a really good point, and that's that what appears to be a chronic issue with the way that Dreamland is approaching their defense is they seem incapable of not fighting for sight. Just leave. You have a team composition that's phenomenal for denying plants, phenomenal for retaking, and yet you are consistently losing 1, 2, or 3 on sight.
Sorry, continue. There were just some menace things happening on my screen.
Where Menace is already up 2-8, he's like, I might as well go for the Twitter clips, man. Let's just send her.
That wasn't a Twitter clip. That was... Oh dear.
That's
really backfired. That was like a Tumblr clip. We're putting that up on LiveJournal.
Last round.
As usual, opened up by Menace here. The extent to which Menace makes space with his team, not only just in a general divey jet style, but the fact that he's specifically using econ. Just what is this? What are you doing, Menace? For all of the great plays that he makes, that is some questionable nonsense.
You know, look. I'm a little bit of a League of Legends caster. In League, we have a term for that. It's called an ego check. You're just checking to see whether or not your ego is ahead of your capabilities. You're running the tests. Sometimes the tests come up positive. You gotta work with that. But it's important to run them every now and then. It's like getting a safety check on your car.
Yeah, he's keeping himself honest.
Yeah. Giacomo will keep Menace honest this round as well. This is actually 3 PHOENIX1 players who have fallen as Dreamland get a little more aggressive. And it pays huge dividends. Jangler has the only kill as Dreamland randomly pull out a very clean shot round. What?
All right.
I didn't realize it was last round. I just thought we were burning ultis.
All right. What does Dreamland do now to climb this 3-9 deficit? That is really the question. They have the tools to make it happen, but it's really tough because you look at the way that they were just playing their defensive side. They played almost no counter-offensives. They didn't play overtly aggressive, and when they did, it often wasn't with the people on their team, with the utility that they should have been. The amount of times that we saw Jerk make an aggressive forward play off rip was basically zero. I think he did it once or twice with Showstopper, and that was it. Now they have to find that mode on their offense without exception. They literally have to find a way to allow Jerk to create these early openings with aggressive play, and if they don't, they're dead on arrival.
Yeah, so Dreamland, the ball is very much in your court. This is a best of 5, so I guess they can afford to drop another map. If they do, well, regardless, actually, map 3 will be split. Which is their pick. So maybe they got something in the tank.
You have to hope so. And unfortunately, this is quite literally the opposite of what I was advising they do, which is an incredibly slow passive default. And it looks like they're going to start leaning. They may be the beneficiaries of the fact that we see a 4-man stack towards the A half of the map, but they're still walking into... Yeah, they're still walking into a fully entrenched B site, including a retake camera.
Yeah, there's the retake camera. King is just playing off the site, as you very well should. Rahante will be playing the flank for these hookah players, so maybe we'll get something out of that. Nobody dead still in this pistol round. King will be caught in the trap wire. Jerk finds the pick. Here's the flank. Rahante needs to go huge. 2 players in front of him. There's one, not the second. Oh, gets absolutely destroyed by Menace, but it's okay. Did the work. Stalled up the retake synergy. Very well timed on the peak. And that means that Menace has a 1v3 to work with.
Area.
Not holding my breath, Anders, so we can talk through this.
Yeah, it's really nice to see Dreamland find another gear there. They obviously played that first part of the round really, really passively. And in a lot of ways, the way that P1 was set up was in prime position to punish that. They had King on site, they had a retake camera, double trips, he played directly into elbow, didn't feel the need to overtly pressure the site, didn't even camera bolt anyone as they were pushing the side. He was content just watching them sort of flood in. And I feel like the only reason that round really fell apart was because of the play out of Rahante, playing that deep lurk, watching the teleport, and then flanking into hookah, not as soon as he saw them leave the teleporter, but as they were really sort of moving onto that site and trying to make the round end in their favor is when he showed up.
And it was the timing that I didn't appreciate the first time around. But the timing just completely denied the pincer play that PHOENIX1 were trying to set up for the retake. Which makes it very important for Dreamland. We'll see if they can do it again. We still have that slow setup. There is a 5-man stack for PHOENIX1 over towards A. I can't tell you enough how much that is not the site that Dreamland are going to. They are 0% going to that site.
It's compelling because Dreamland literally ran back this exact same play last round. And P1 was gamble stacked on A. Obviously, they ended up losing because of that. But now we see a flat-out gamble stack, which, to their credit, is what you should be doing here. On this eco, you're not going to win it if you don't just gamble stack a site or you don't play some crazy aggression. So I think that they had the right idea, lost the coin flip.
Silence.
Yep. Sometimes you bet on black and it doesn't turn out good.
One enemy remaining.
Mario around the corner. You know, some people in the UK say Mario. That's true.
Right. This will be...
And it's like an ongoing... Whenever somebody is like, I love playing the Mario games, I feel a little bit of revulsion.
A little
Anyway,
part of
continue.
you dies every time. I think that this will be a very good barometer for how the rest of this map is going to pan out. If P1 takes this rifle in a convincing fashion, I think that they might very well just snowball out of control and finish this in short order. I think Dreamland needs to find economic damage here.
Yeah. Jogamo. We'll be playing some Minecraft, busting down the wall. They get in, and can access anything on the map. Dream again playing this slow default. And now that PHOENIX1 have rifles, that can be punished. PHOENIX1 have utility and rifles and are going to start to set up aggressive vision, take control of the rest of the map.
Something that's really perplexing to me is the fact that we see this really measured, sort of passive defaulty play out of Dreamland, but it feels like it's largely without purpose. They're not playing for orb control. They're just kind of statically holding angles and insulating themselves against aggressive pops, and then moseying over to the site that they decide to finish on. I would love to see that if they are going to seemingly settle on this approach, that they need to at least start forcing some sort of ult econ or getting a larger reward for the way that they're playing.
I don't know how Rahante made it to site. Don't think it matters much, and indeed it doesn't. But it just got led onto the side somehow. Yeah, I want to nail down on that, because we talk a lot about defaults, and a lot of good teams play through a default, but when you play through a default, the purpose is to poke at all portions of the map simultaneously, and then work out what you're going to do from the information you gather. And this was the most defensive default from Dreamland. They weren't creating any opportunities, they weren't pushing into any of the angles, which just let PHOENIX1 do exactly the opposite and start setting up these ambushes, so that by the time Dreamland are like, we want to go B, they're walking into stacked setups.
Yeah, you definitely have to glean something from your defaults. They can't be a default for the sake of defaulting.
We've said default too many times. Doesn't sound like a real word anymore. Guess what Dreamland are doing, though?
They're defaulting for the sake of defaulting. No A orb, no B orb. We're just going to chill in A short and hope that it pans out for us.
Call this the vibe. would I do as well. Anyway, slight take will happen. Second, we'll find the trade. Giacomo does go down on entry. But KP is really up here, so maybe we'll see a plant or something.
Cover going out.
I don't think they feel safe enough to tap anything, and indeed they'll TP out.
Here.
That was a great use of a minute of our time. No ground gained!
They insist on this style, and it just doesn't make sense. They're now going to be pushing into a 3-stack site with full util.
And they just have less utility. That's just what they've done. They have less players, less
30
utility.
seconds left.
KP will bait the plant, see what reaction they can provoke. Rahante actually cleans out some of the players in U-Hole. This is workable, I don't know why, as Jangler has his back turned. We'll grab Rahante, but does get poked down. Spike is planted, KP on the site, and Mario with the shock arrows inside of U-Hole. They both come up big, and I don't know. Enters immediately after an entire round of us complaining about the inefficiency of Dreamland's playstyle. They just do it anyway and find the frags. And Precision is left in a 1-on-3, for which I am not hopeful. They'll lurk their way into lamps, find one. That's Mario down. Second actually found. That got dangerous, but Jurek has the cleanup, and there's a round on the board for Dreamland.
I don't want that round to serve as any sort of evidence that the way that Dreamland played that round was strong. The fact that they
it
hit...
may have worked, but it shouldn't have.
Exactly. The fact that they hit shots that they shouldn't have is not an excuse for that being an effective way to approach this round. They have to have more to their attack. They can't just sit A short for 40 seconds and expect that to work.
I have a counterpoint, Anders. They can. They just did, apparently.
But how long will it work? I guess that's the question we need to be asking ourselves.
Well, psych this round. Dreamland are just vibing towards the B side. It's actually a little bit of a faster hit. KP already out on the site, and the trading's gone positive, 3 for 2.
One enemy remaining.
Their old theft will land. This is King really far up in hookah. And that was much more what we saw during the pistol round. A fast take with Rahante and a couple other players lurking to punish PHOENIX1's retake.
Yeah, very much so. It was much more of like a dual-paced setup where you had sort of an intermediate tempoed exec, and you have those late lurks, Rahante lurking through Spice Market, coming up to counter the A to B teleports, and really shutting out any hookah-based retake that might sort of come to a front.
All my retakes are hookah-based. 7 to 10. This Dreamland. Gotta have something to take the edge off. It's Dreamland, which is good positioning, to be clear. This Dreamland do bring us a little bit closer. 7 to 10. And Rahante starts off the round with precision drop. Jerk cleans out the aggression. This is actually looking quite good. Dreamland now up 2 frags. And starting to push ever further forward. They do have a player that they need to dig out inside of showers. So we can pay attention to that. KP will be sticking the plant. King shut down inside of lamp room. I believe that was Zekken lurking inside the showers. Doesn't seem like anything's come of it either way. And as a result, Dreamland get themselves all the way up to 8. It's within 2 rounds now.
Remaining.
They're definitely making their case here, clawing it back. I think that something that P1 is now falling victim to a little bit is the fact that we do see that really passive defaulty style from Dreamland, and now P1's kind of running into it. We saw, I mean, that was an eco, so we shouldn't read tons into it, but we saw Menace pushing in a typical way with that forward aggression that we've pointed out from him time and time again, but it seemed borderline clumsy. It was a very aggressive push onto A stairs, and then he's just completely shut out by 2 people that were holding that passive default. There has to be more structure and more of a concerted effort and target to that sort of aggression.
Nowhere to run.
There needs to be more than just a shove from... Oh dear, King trading out. Mario with the Hunter's Fury at the back of the site. sorry, Zekken with the Hunter's Fury at the back, Mario with Hunter's Fury on entry. And it's just lasers all the way. But the spike will go down at the end of it, a positive trade for Dreamland. You can even see Rahante getting a little bit spicy here, lurking further forward than they have in previous rounds, and it is all upon Menace, who is at the back of those holes with an orb. And this actually looks like a really quick take.
Yeah, I really like this setup. Probably one of my favorite rounds from them thus far, at least in relativity to the way that they've been playing it prior, because
from Dreamland,
they're showing... Yes, for Dreamland, certainly. Because there's a very binary style to the way that Rahante has been playing this round. You saw him lurking Spice Market for almost every round prior to now, and in this, we see him all the way up elbow, something like 30 seconds in the round. If I'm on the side of P1, I never see that coming.
That is fine to somebody exits. Yeah, their B hits have been defined by Rahante's ability to lurk around and find at least one or two unexpected kills and just deny the retakes every single time. And I'm curious why we're not seeing more of that when they head over towards A, because Rahante is oftentimes still lurking over towards Spice and B, and not in fact relevant to those A takes where that kind of lurking presence would be needed.
Definitely, and I think part of that is obviously going to be just inherent map design. It's a lot easier to lurk from Spice into Hookah. You'd almost have to use him as a showers anchor if you were going to do it towards A, but there is definitely ways to doing it, and I'm a bit surprised as well that we haven't seen more of that.
9-10, almost a tie game. For the first time, Dreamland have put together a ton of rounds, and they're bringing the fight to what has been a dominant side on PHOENIX1. We hit the second half here, and Dreamland looked just as shattered as every team has into PHOENIX1 until, I think, 7 rounds in a row that brought them to this point. shahzam.
Really a great clawback from Dreamland.
Look at Zekken real close inside this smoke as the Lear went behind him. There was an opportunity to make something happen, but it won't. Jerk. Oh! So Jerk went down to Zekken on the side, but nothing else comes from the exchange. Instead, it is King around the corner to trade 1-for-1. PHOENIX1 in 3-3, and you do have the glass cannon orb available. Rahante will grab Jangler. Precision gets the res on Zekken. Menace, the glass cannon orb drops. Jogma responsible for that. Finally, getting into some of the tempo you expect. Spike is planted and ready to go over on A. Jogma lurks and executes Precision. A triple for the man in the round, and this looks real good for Dreamland. 3-on-1, an almost impossible retake. Indeed, pretty much impossible. I'll let Zekken try and clear this out. We'll give him the respect. He's got 60 HP and very limited time. And limited options, so I'll just TP away. We got a tie game on our hands, Martin.
Yeah, Dreamland definitely proving me wrong that their style was inherently ill-suited to this. I think there has been a fair amount of tempo uptick, and yeah, definitely. They sped up quite a bit, but I think it was off the back of a little bit of an economic re-entry to the game that was based off of their slow default. They punished that early aggression from Menace in large part due to that slow default, and that gave them the rifles and the money in order to sort of make this greater surge. Maybe they just weren't leaning into that aggression due to a lack of money, and they didn't want to risk economic disaster on it. But definitely making a strong case for themselves here.
Yeah, and as we kind of brushed upon, this second half has turned into a dream for Dreamland. 10-all, our tied game scoreline here in map number 2. PHOENIX1, of course, took Icebox in dominant fashion. Regardless of who wins this, it is a best of 5. We'll go to map 3, split. Jerk opens up, 1-1 trade with Menace. Menace clinged out as well after grabbing Rahante, but Jerk goes down to Precision, who comes in as the third man in a hookah stack that pays huge dividends for PHOENIX1, ending in a positive trade, particularly as KP falls. That was aggression from King, pushing behind the flankers into Spice Market.
And that was pretty huge, because he picked up Spike. If you know that you have a Cypher Lurk that's that deep towards the attacker spawn, towards the A side of the site, you can get pretty firm information that they're going to have to double back towards B. They're not going to opt into playing a side of the map that they know there's a deep lurk on and they're risking basically creating a flank opportunity against themselves with. So they're going to double back towards B here, where P1 is setting up a 3-stack that's going to hard deny any sort of execute.
Jugma on the aggression. Menace finds Mario. Jugma will get Menace, but that is all that happens. Precision with the denial through the metal box gives PHOENIX1 their first round in a while when they need it, climbing into the double digits properly. 11-10, now the lead.
P1 finding their footing again, and now we've got Menace back onto an op. He pulled that hero up, obviously 2 rounds back. Didn't go exactly as planned. We see him here with just the op and light armor. Really needs to find something, and he's going to be picking up a trademark aggressive line here. Already basically up all of A short into that carpet corner.
I like the denial of vision there. This is the benefit of the default if it's executed well by Dreamland, is it stops PHOENIX1 from being able to set up defensive positions. However, PHOENIX1, for now, are being able to push down B long. And if this is unpunished, it's disastrous. I think they have a beat on it, though. Here's Rahante. Oh, doesn't read the positioning. Precision finds a kill. KP will not have the backstab. That spike down.
And that spike
rolled off Precision. Just going to set it up. Hold there. Jerk having to walk through a slow. Precision single-handedly wins the round off the aggression. And PHOENIX1 are going to be going to match point.
Precision literally just won that round by himself. Like, straight up won that round by himself. Finds an incredibly deep position, immediately kills one, kills another with spike with an insane flick, walls it off, allows time for Zekken to push down B long, get another posting, and the round's just done. It's over. It's finished.
30 seconds left.
Go next. Jugma will speed it up, diving into Menace, and like we talked about, 12-10, match point on map number 2. Over to Phoenix. This is, I must reiterate, a best of 5. It does not determine this series. We will be going to split regardless of the result here. However, it's got to be crushing for Dreamland to be this close.
Yeah, on the precipice here, I mean, they made such a strong comeback here. They started putting the pieces together, and it looks like P1 sort of grabbed themselves by the overalls and said, no, we have to claw this back, close it out.
You fools, I've only been using 10% of my power. Mario will go in with the drone, just checking out the site, and that'll set up for a Hunter's Fury execute if he can nail it onto King. There it is. And some extra vision as well. We'll see what that enables. Jerk deep into the site. They haven't cleaned out lamps, and do have to. There is a player lurking in there. Synced peek will go through. Precision finds one, but it's cleaned up. Jangler inside the lamp room will drop Precision, traded out elsewhere. This looks good for Dreamland. 2v4. This match may be closer yet. Jerk playing around the corner.
Oh no.
Oh, dashes away, almost gets away with it. Rifle
Oh my
out!
goodness, Menace!
Oh no, Menace! Menace! One player left, no time, surely, and indeed Mario will find the 4th kill of the round in his pocket and stop Menace from, I don't know how, stumbling into the round. Oh yes, get us the replay of this.
I love this. Goes for the second op shot, misses it, immediately tailwinds, and grabs a rifle before re-pushing. Such great presence of mind there for Menace. Almost putting it together. Absolutely crazy.
28 kills for Menace this game. We kind of criticized him for being a little quiet on Icebox. Maybe it's just dodging Icebox games. It's so like you. You know how it is. Jerk will shut him down right at the start of this round. So maybe actually the problem was we were praising him a bit too much. Caster Curse comes through. It's the dive with the showstopper. Jerk trying to get themselves into OT, and there it is. Precision will drop 4v3. Sorry, 5v3 left in this all-important round. Zekken will grab KP. Zekken grabs Rahante as well. Lurkin Hookah pays huge dividends. PHOENIX1 bring it to the 3v3. Zekken still there as well, and they have nobody to backstab to dig Zekken out. Watch King on the flank coming up long right now. Spike still not planted. Finally, it will be going down. But King lands the flank, gets the neural theft as well. This is going to enable the jump in. Jerk finds his third on the round, dropping King. So it's a 2v2. But they have a pincer set up for this site. Giacomo will drop. Jangler for the kill. It is all on Jerk. An ace to win the round on 38 HP. Playing from the gardens. Does have coverage on the bomb. Will spam through the wall. Double peek being lined up. And there it is. Zekken for the kill. And PHOENIX1 for their second map win. 12, now 13 to 11.
Defenders win.
That was the round of this match that I am okay with it ending on.